Okay. Hello, and welcome to another Go for Watch League stream. I am Oaks, and today with me I have my good co-caster Meme Supreme, the guy who's been playing in the league, but at least he's still around to cast. Smile. Yeah.
And, yeah, we got a hell of a match today. Two teams, one is winless and one, of course, 1-0. But with only one game played, you know, there's not really much we can base our opinions on. Personally, I think the Gremlins had a very strong showing. The Otters a little less so, but I still think both teams had good players who make plays.
Yeah, for sure. Who did the Otters lose to in their first match? Bill.
They lost to the Bilbies.
Yeah.
And
the voices of the ether are telling us that. Yeah.
And I believe the Gremlins swept the Golems first match they played. Pretty dominant fashion without Boom 10-11. Pretty impressive to say the least.
Yeah. They I think they swept them without Boom. Yeah. I don't know if you said that. I was kind of distracted.
Yeah. And first map we have Busan, and it should be pretty favorable for the Gremlins here. I mean, they've got such a strong tank line, probably one of the best in the league. And on this map, I really do like having a good tank line when I'm playing, especially on mecha base. And for downtown, a little less so, but I mean, I personally have been playing with Booney's Monkey, and I'm always impressed when I play with him.
Yeah, Booney definitely a really solid player on that main tank. I think this is Yeetmeister's first time appearing in the server in a Go for Watch League match. So it would be interesting to see how well he does. He is starting out on the Reinhardt here. Kind of an interesting pick.
Yeah, we have a classic rush basically on the side of the Otters, while we have double bubble here for the Gremlins.
Yeah, Booney just jumping in, popping that bubble down to try and take some space, but with his resources gone, he'll have to back out for a little bit, and he's taken down by Asquatch on the Reaper. Rez does come through, but Traincy is punished. Lamp used by the side of the Otters, and they're kind of surviving here real well against the onslaught of the Gremlins.
Yeah, Booty kind of gets a good dive going, you know, gets bubbled by Boom 10-11, but Asquatch is just there to punish very quickly, and Yeetmeister almost going down to Zeus's nice anti-nade, but you know, they're able to kind of just group up together, play like as a death ball, and once the Reaper gets the pick onto the Winston, it's kind of difficult for the team to really take any space.
Yeah. Booney does swap onto a Reinhardt here, so now he's very, very even tank-wise in the frontline battle. Maybe he can just beat Yeet in the MTD, and there's blows being traded on the front line. Yeetmeister is the one to draw first blood, though. Booney falls once again, and this time Wags finds another pick, so it's just a complete advantage for the Otters here.
Yeah, you can't even really say that it was really an ult advantage there either. Just the lamp was used a little too early by Zeus. Booney going down pretty quickly, and once again, once the main tank goes down, it's kind of free reign for the other team to just run into the other team and just clean house. And they're coming in fast here with the engage.
Magna, nice zoning High Noon, but it's... Oh, the grab is eaten by Nort as well, so High Noon and a nice Graviton eat just seals the deal in that fight.
Yeah, and you really hate to see that because Boom was the only one who didn't swap initially, so his ultimate was gonna be popped first, and with it getting eaten, it got absolutely no value, and Halfbait gets to keep his beat, so he can just use it to keep his team alive for this next fight.
Yeah, ult economy in shambles for the Gremlins here, and they need to win this fight. It's their last chance, or the round will go to the side of the Otters. Booney swinging in aggressively, trying to make something work on the front line, but he just keeps on walking in and getting dumpstered. This time it's a massive shatter from Yeetmeister, and a great follow-up Death Blossom from Asquatch, and that'll be all she wrote. Very dominant first round for the side of the Otters.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't really much opposition there. You know, we're gonna get these stragglers here, but there's not really much of a chance for them to come back. And that's just a classic case of, you know, your team wins the first fight, builds those ultimates first, and the other team is just always playing from behind. And especially when you get your grab eaten, it's just not gonna be a fun time for you to figure out how to win that map.
Yeah. Especially after, like, not only did the Gremlins lose first fight, but they also swapped almost their entire composition as well. So they lost, and they lost all of the ult charge that they managed to build in that losing fight, just putting their ult economy even further back.
Right, but now we have Mecha Base here, and both teams deciding to go into this with a rush comp, with the caveat that one team is running Doomfist while the other is running Mei, and of course with Mei you're trying to use those walls here, and we're about to see it right here.
Yeah, nice wall onto Yeetmeister here, but Asquatch is just going deep into the backline. That Doomfist, he is just elite on that character. Yeetmeister swinging back in, trying to defeat Booney once again, but he's dropping so incredibly low. Asquatch though manages to find a counterfrag before his main tank falls, and it just sets up everything for the side of the Otters. Booney's down as well. Boom gets popped out of mech, and that'll be it for first cap.
You never really want that Doomfist to just let whatever he wants just just happen, and right there, that's what happened as Wags just kind of cleaned house. Wall didn't really get much value, unfortunately, and even though the immortality was used first by the Otters, the Gremlins couldn't really capitalize, and now they're just gonna dominate this choke here.
Asquatch set up on a nice off angle again. Lucio taken out. Booney falls once again. The same two first picks in that fight as well. More ults committed. Asquatch using the meteor strike. Probably not necessary, but with how dominant the Otters have been on this first map, I don't think it'll matter.
Oh my goodness, I thought someone was gonna die to the mech, but unfortunately Boom 1011 unable to do much of anything. I mean, the Gremlins gonna have 5 ultimates to just barrel through the choke, but you know, Nord ate that grab earlier. Maybe he can eat this Mei ult that's coming in, and they're deciding to come in from the right here.
Yeah, just Booney trying to create some kind of space advantage here, but Magna's just walking at him. He doesn't even have the gun in his hands, and then he takes it out, picks up 3 off the shatter from Yeetmeister on the Reinhardt. Absolutely dominant fight.
Yeah, that's just textbook high noon play, just using Lucio's speed to get your McCree around the corner there, and the Ryan just holding shield, the D.Va letting that DM block so much damage, and we still have 5 ultimates on the side of the Gremlins.
Oh, but Big Dog's trying to do the exact same thing back to the side of the Otters. Shatter onto Yeetmeister. Booney beating the man-on-man, but Wags is there with the Doom strike, slamming into the backline. Mei ult invested as well after 3 fall. Not a great look from the Captain Trey, but as it looks like the Otters are basically riding free here.
The Otters is just really cycling their ults well. Hefe does die early on here though, so it might be difficult for them to hold this point, but I mean they still got 5 players and a lot of people just on the high ground.
Yeah, some nice touches, but Wags is there to clean up everybody on the objective. He's getting the kills, which is what's important. Boom though trades back out. The carry potentially is off the field, but Magna and Caden are there, backbone of the team, just to cleaning up everything. And speed is invested by Train C, but I don't think it'll make a difference. Big plays from the front line, like the entirety of the Otters. It was slightly closer, but not a whole lot different.
Yeah, I think both maps kind of showcased how important a first fight can be. Of course, the first map with the exception that the other team just had to make a bunch of swaps and they kind of got snowballed. But I mean, on a map like Mecha Base, it's just so hard to kind of navigate around that one choke. It's just so difficult to push, and like right here we see how difficult it is to just push out if the other team uses their ults well.
Yeah. I do feel slightly that there is a bit of miscoordination or miscommunication on the side of the Gremlins here. Like, I think 2 walls there. So in that fight, in the play of the game we saw, I believe the wall on the red team, which like kept their team inside the side of the high noon instead of blocking it. So ended up killing some of their teammates. And then the next fight, Big Dog pops his high noon, but it's blocked by his own main wall. He can't pull the trigger until the main wall goes down, and by that time, all of blue team is out of the way.
Yeah, another note on the fight right after that massive high noon from Magna, the ult usage was just kind of all scattered about from the side of the Gremlins. I mean, we had a bomb, we had a shatter, but like, they only really got the Yeetmeister with the shatter, and he didn't even die to it. And then Wags just popped that Doom ult and got both supports, so it was just really not great coordination from the side of the Gremlins. I would like to see much better from them because, I mean, first match of the season, they look pretty dominant, and now that they have 10-11 back, it would seem as though they would be better.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of weird, right? Like they bring in a better tank player on paper, and it seems like they're less coordinated. But again, it is first map, so maybe just the classic, warm-up map situation.
Yeah, it should be noted that perhaps it's one of those situations where, rush comp not really your thing, so they've decided to go on a map that's less inclined to favor a rush comp in Numbani. And I would like to see, Winston, Zarya, maybe Winston Diva, and just patrol the high grounds when you're on defense on this map.
Yeah. To my knowledge, Yeetmeister is definitely much more comfortable on that Reinhardt pick of the main tank, so I think forcing like a dive situation where Booney's also more comfortable on the Reinhardt, but he also has a very solid ball, very solid Winston. Trying to force that flexibility might be a good change of pace here for the Gremlins.
And early on, we see that both teams lock in the monkey. Numbani Classic don't really want to deal with having Rhines walk up awkwardly, in any of the choke points on this map. And the Gremlins running with the lineup they had when they started downtown on Busan, and I like this comp. You have the Echo, and Monkey with Zarya just pelting the other enemy team. Tracer just being a nuisance. Oh, never mind. We have a Doomfist now coming out from. Okay, he's just trolling me at this point. Just, now just stay on the Tracer. It's a very good character on this map. You can be quite a nuisance on the flank. And on the side of the Otters, I mean, we have Hanzo, Kree for that poke, and you have Break to keep Donna safe while your Winston and Diva coordinate dives together.
Yeah. Lots of spam coming up from the side of the Gremlins for sure. As Yeetmeister is just holding space here. He knows that he doesn't need to push through the chokes that aggressively to set up anything for snipers. Booty, on the other hand, needs to set up a dive, and he does exactly that. Big Dog finding Sasquatch off of the engage from Booty with the sticky mines, and now he's going in for more point control in favor of the Gremlins here, as Hayden does manage to tread out Starlight, but Yeetmeister is gone. There's no main tank presence anymore.
Hayden drops too early, I think, for the recontest, and now the point is most definitely the Gremlins. It's kind of sloppy play here. Having high ground control as McCree Hanzo, I think that's a good idea, but just stacking them all together with the supports, I just don't think is an intelligent play. They just kind of are fodder for the Echo and Monkey, and Wags goes down really early, and the fight's basically over at that point.
Yeah, if you play stacked in those tight spaces, the Winston will get all the cleave in the world. Those sticky mines will get a bunch of AoE damage, and you're also just shooting from one angle when you could be shooting from many.
And now we have high ground control from the Gremlins, and they have ultimates online, like 5 of them. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Booney going in for another engage, and massive pulse bomb play from Starlight on the Tracer. That's the Captain Trey showing up for his team, and Valk used by Train C should be the nail in the coffin here. North does manage to trade out Big Dog, but it should definitely not be enough.
they can get Nort here, it's gonna be really awful for the Otters. You know, forced to use bomb here, but I mean, they just got steamrolled at this point. 6 minutes left on the clock. I mean, last point Numbani is pretty hard to push, but with 6 minutes and with still 4 ultimates coming online, it's gonna be kind of rough.
Yeah, we do get some big swaps coming out from the side of the Otters. Asquatch is now on the Echo, and Nord is on Zarya. Yeetmeister swaps onto Reinhardt as well, so it's a full composition swap. But I feel like the ults are just, they've just reset all their ult charge, and now the Gremlins have a huge ult advantage here.
Yeah.
Booty jumps in.
Going in with Nano Monkey here, and yeah, the ultimates, as you said, are just way in favor of the Gremlins. They're just gonna continue to pop them off, and it's just a mollywop. It's just not even fair.
Yeah. Starlight picks up 2. Boom takes out Yeetmeister, and now Booney's just posted inside the spawn. Huge pulse bomb inside the spawn doors from Trey. He's going crazy on the Tracer, and it's a similarly crazy steamroll. 4 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock. That's probably one of the biggest time banks I've ever seen on Nimbani.
I don't think I've seen a nearly 5-minute time bank on Numbani in a long time, and you know, it makes sense. There was no clean fight after, I believe, the very first fight. I mean, the Gremlins just kind of steamrolled the Otters all the way to last, and you know, they kind of did what the Otters did to them on Busan, where they just had way better ultimate rotations. Swaps from the Otters kind of force a bad comp with the Ana Brig with their rush, which doesn't really work. And even when they did keep their ults, the Otters kept their ults, they didn't use them. At least they didn't use them on time, because the Gremlins just used ults first, able to kind of clean up and just farm better position as they made their way to last.
Yeah. With this, like, if everyone's getting snowballed, like, I mean, not every team gets snowballed in Overwatch, right? How do you think that, like, both teams, how do you think both teams can, you know, counteract the snowball, make some kind of play or something like that?
I think, you know, it's kind of lame, but once a player goes down, you just have to kind of cut your losses, you know, just set up for a better position. Especially on second point, you know, on first, it's not very practical to, when you lose your first player, to just back up. I mean, you're gonna give up ticks, so that might be a problem, but I mean, you just have to back up, just wait for spawners to come back, and you know, then you can make a play.
Yeah, just give some space is all you can do. But Boom 1011 though does manage to find Nort. Hefe and Magna falling to Booty, so it's some nice tank aggression coming out from the Gremlins here. Yeetmeister does manage to trade back 2. Both supports gone for the side of the Otters, but it's too little too late as Big Dog cleans up 2 more.
Yeah, the classic I dive you, you dive us, whoever gets more value wins. And yeah, there, I would say the Gremlins got more value there. Yeetmeister able to dive the supports in the backline, but not fast enough, as Booney and Boom 1011 kind of just cleaned house on the high ground.
Yeah, Booney once again contesting that top right choke point, but this time he's pushed out, and now Yeetmeister can go aggressive instead, dropping incredibly low, but he does have that boosted healing from the Ana nade of Hefe, and that sets up for a nice 3-piece for his team. The res does come through from Traincy though, but Kaden matches on the other side, and with only Yeetmeister gone on the side of the Otters, this is looking really good for them, despite the Valk investment from Traincy.
Fight still continuing on. Booney investing his Primal Rage. Maybe worth it though, as Hefe goes down. That's a big healing source that's out of the fight right now. And Spawn is really close here on Numbani, so even if they give him ticks, they might have a chance, but they decide to just cut their losses. Just back up, wait for our main tank to come back. Don't want to get steamrolled like we did to them.
Yeah, and with such a long fight and only Primal Rage invested on the side of the Otters, they've built up a massive ult bank here.
It's gonna be quite devastating if the Gremlins are just caught out in a bad position and they get punished with ultimates. You know, especially Nano Monkey, that could be very detrimental to your plans. And with Booney investing his Primal, I mean, the ultimate's not looking very good for the Gremlins.
Yeah, Monkey is exactly as you said, but Big Dog on the other side copies the Ana and finds one with the sticky bombs. Wags though does manage to find a counter frag with the bomb. Res comes through on Magna, but now they've managed to find some stuff off the counter engage. Booney though takes out Hefe, the healing gone. Nort down on tank as well as Wags out of the fight, and
yeah, big credit to the tank line of the Gremlins. You know, you face a massive ultimate deficit, but able to kind of maneuver around your opponent's plan by just diving their backline. No peel on the side of the Otters. Wags did try to, you know, clean house with that gold, and oh my goodness, the fast fight. Grab his whip. Doesn't look good.
Yeetmeister does, though, manage to find Booney, so there is a numbers advantage here, and Magna pops the tactical visor. He's on the low ground, but he's just running around. He's too slippery, and he doesn't need to aim. The game does it for him. Boom, taken out by Wags on the Echo. He's got the pocket. He chases down Gemino Curse as well. And now it's just he's just dueling a Big Dog and kicks him off the objective.
Not really sure how that could happen with them playing so well previously with the deficit, and you know, that fight they had ultimates they could use to counteract the enemy ultimates, but you know, even with the grab that was whiffed, Booney just dies first, and you know, after that the fight kind of crumbled down.
Yeah, we do also see some swaps on the side of the Otters here, setting up for third point here, I guess.
And they got the rush comp down, but Nano Monkey should be coming in. There it is, and he's just gonna do so much cleave damage.
Yeah, Booney's stumbled his way into the backline, found Magna, pops the Primal Rage as well, just causing so much chaos. North, though, does manage to find a counter frag onto Big Dog, but it's not enough as Booney's just jumping around, punching children into walls. He's split the bat from the rest of his team with his bubble nicely, and that'll be a nice finisher to the fight.
Even though I believe Nort gets that equalizing pick, it doesn't really matter in the end because, I mean, Booney's just zoning out the team. If you're playing a rush comp like this and you're all separate, you're kind of defeating the purpose of running a rush comp, and I mean, it's difficult with the Monkey just battering you around, but it's just all signs lead to a losing fight there.
Yeah, I don't think the Otters did invest in ult though in that fight, so it was kind of just Booney against the world. He's dropped in once again, found a nice bubble split, but with so much less resources compared to last fight, he just has to back out.
I'd like to mention that Kaden is now on Mercy, so it's like no heals on the side of the Otters. Even with the ultimates coming down, I don't know if they can win this. Oh my goodness, Wags does get two with the McCree copy though, and it might be looking good here for the Otters.
Yeah, grab to clean up from Nort Logic, and they're just rolling through. Prancy does invest Valk very late though, but it's not enough. Now it's just Big Dog solo contesting copy Ryan. Booney does come out to join him, but the copy is instantly burned. Magna's popping up on the Kree. He has all the space in the world, and the Gremlins just step off cart.
A bit of sloppy play in my opinion. They antied Yeetmeister very early on in the fight, but they were unable to punish him even though he went down to like less than 100 HP. And then I believe Boom uses in grab, and they're unable to finish off that many kills. And Wags just comes in with the Echo copy, cleans house with the McCree, and it just looked pretty bad there once those picks happened, and the Gremlins unable to recontest solidly without too many ultimates.
Yeah, I think after using, I think they used Nano Primal in the fight before, and then they invested a couple ults like that Graviton Surge that you said, the side of the Gremlins. They used that at the beginning of the next fight, and once they didn't get any value out of that, they just didn't have any more ults, and the Otters didn't use any ults until after the Grav didn't get any value, allowing them to just press Q and push their way through.
Yeah, 2 minutes for the Otters, and you know, still that massive, almost 5-minute time bank for the Gremlins. But I mean, you can do a lot with 2 minutes on Numbani. Just cap the first point and just carry the payload all the way. It's pretty easy to steamroll that second point as well.
Yeah, I think first point is definitely the big hurdle though, with how close the defender spawns are and the good defensive position, right?
Yeah. So we have that double bubble for the Otters here. It's really gonna be up to Yeetmeister to get a good dive here, but Boom 1011 kind of patrolling the other high ground just in case.
Yeah, Boom 1011 and Booney just trying to stuff the chokes, but they're not really getting chunked out, in fact. They're kind of just keeping all the space.
Yeah, Nord down early. Not a good sign. I mean, they didn't really have a good plan there, I think. Just they wanted to play for high ground here, but I'm not really sure how good that would be to, you know, try to bail your way through a choke point when the other team can just spam down it. So, and you know, if you're running a monkey, I think you should be trying to play for a dive to clear the high ground with a bubble.
Yeah, a bubble to split the team to set up some kind of engage, but they're just walking through the choke once again. Yeetmeister bubbles off Booney at least, but it's instantly broken, just taking fire from 6 people on the side of the Gremlins. Starlight though does fall Booney as well, so 2 down for 1. Resurrect stopped as well by Magna on the McCree. Such a crucial flashbang, but Boom 1011 is just free roaming in the back line. He's found 3 on his own. Now it's Wags and Nort just trying to clear Boom off the objective. He's used the bomb, but he dies before he can remech from it. Booney and Starlight coming back, trying to find some kind of clutch play, but I don't think it'll be enough.
Yeah, I think if you're the Gremlins, you don't want to commit any ultimates. Just cut your losses. It's just not. It's not really winnable. There's not enough people coming back. Booney clearly thinking otherwise, and you know, with a 5v6 maybe, but you have to commit all your ultimates here for a fight you probably won't even win.
Booney will be telling you to eat your words because Boom and Starlight have just popped off on the point. Huge pulse bomb. Boom finds another, and I think he found 5 kills in that recontest fight.
Clearly I haven't been playing this game enough to realize how good these players are, because Lord, Arctic, and Boom just carried that fight with a pulse bomb and just solid diva play. And yeah, I should just eat my words. Booney with an excellent primal stall there. Even with the 5v6, you know, they got ultimates to spare.
Yeah, I honestly have no idea how Boom got that much value on diva, but I mean, he's crazy at the video game.
I believe the support ults had a big impact there. I mean, both Valk and Nano were invested to that stall, and you know what? I mean, it worked out very well as the pulse bomb stick, the res, and the Boom 1011's solid kills were all enough to take back the point with very little loss. You know, a tick and a little bit extra, but nothing that a 5-minute time bank can't solve.
Yeah. I mean, just 5 minutes to get 1 tick is just monstrous. They use what, like 45 seconds or something to get the whole first point last time they attacked, and now they have 5 minutes just to get a third of that.
Yeah, we're just seeing Ryan Diva. I mean, not Ryan Diva, Winston Diva from both teams, and you know, I really do think this comp is very good on Numbani, and it just allows for dynamic play on a map where you kind of need mobility to get to the high grounds. And you know, the Gremlins showed it first time, and they're gonna do it again, I think.
Yeah, both tanks just poking each other out in the high ground, trying to, you know, create some kind of off angle, get their DPS into some kind of advantageous position, or just set up for their dive. And now Booney jumping in, but he's instantly stunned by Magna and taken out by Yeetmeister's counter dive. Big Dog though has managed to work his way onto the objective, takes out Kaden, and Magna falls as well to Trey on the Tracer. Boom picks up Yeet as well, and now the Gremlins are just set up on point. They've put up their bunker, and they're just kind of clearing out everybody else on the side of the Otters.
North having to hold down the fort. I think they're gonna hold on though. Never mind, the remake coming in from Boom 1011 is looking really bad for the Otters.
Yeah, it's a massive kill onto Nort before he could remake, and now it's just Yeet spinning around the point trying to find something. Wags versus the world. He does manage to kill Big Dog, and he's still living. Oh, but it's too little too late.
Oh, no. The fight looks so good there for the Otters. They got Booney first, but good DPS play, able to pick off, I believe, Caden and one other player. And
Magna, I think.
Yeah, just went downhill from there. You know, better spawns, but Boon 1011 able to remech on point, and it just looked very bad from then on.
What a clean pulse bomb from Trey. Unable to get the W, but some good plays from both sides. And our series is now back to. Is it back to 1-1? It's 1-1, right?
Yep, it's 1-1. You know, I believe Escort's next, and I think Escort with how it's. I like it when my Escort teams have just Winston, and I think the Gremlins have showed that their Winston play is just overall better than the Otters, and it's of course map dependent, but I feel that as though that the Gremlins are favored with any Escort map, really.
Yeah, I mean with the objective so mobile and like a lot of high ground around the path that the card takes, having Winston there is definitely a boon.
Yep, and you know, I'm impressed with the Otters rush comps, but you know, it's just quite map dependent nowadays. You know, it's not very friendly to, especially Escort's not very friendly to immobile comps that are forced to walk with their Lucio with speed, and Rialto seems to be the pick. I mean, you know, rush on Rialto is not that bad as opposed to other maps, but I still think Monkey can be played for some points.
I'm kind of sad. You did mention that you thought that, you know, because the dive was so strong for the Gremlins, they would have, you know, the advantage in all the escort maps. And I didn't get to mention it before the map was picked, but I was kind of thinking, what if the Otters took them to the J-Town, you know? Because Winston's not very good on J-Town.
True. I did forget about that map, but you know, Junkertown's kind of one of those exceptions where, you know, Rush not very good. This is not very good. Double shield probably be played for the most optimal comps, but we didn't get that. We get Rialto instead, and we will probably see more Reinhardt comps coming out from the Otters. And as for the Gremlins, I'm not very sure. They seem to be pretty flexible at going to either or.
Yeah. I could see the Gremlins, you know, having a bit more confidence after getting that map, and maybe they decide to go back to the Rushmere and just try it out, or maybe they're playing ball.
Based on, you know, the Echo, Tracer, Mercy, I'm going to assume it's some sort of, you know, double bubble maybe, or, you know, ball Zarya. And from the side of the Otters, we do see that Rein Diva rush comp with Kree Echo. So both teams seemingly playing to their strengths, and we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, Trey has opted for the Widowmaker, so we could see some big plays right off the gate here. Just some instant headshots potentially, but looks like that's not going to happen, unfortunately, this time.
They're just posted up on the high ground, you know, smart positioning. Don't let your opponents take high ground. Instead, we take it, and we have better positioning. But Yemeister dropping down, trying to contest the payload here.
Starlight is in the back line, and Boom 1011 has already managed to build up an impressive amount of charge. Caden, though, does take Big Dog out of the skies and forces that res immediately, which is punished by Asquatch, so still numbers advantage for the side of the Otters as they're kind of just running over the Gremlins.
Yeah, not really sure if their comp is really suited to this kind of choke point right here, and you know, Booney trying to get value. I mean, he's still building ult charge faster than the other tanks, but I mean, is he making enough space for his team? It's the real issue, I think.
Yeah, he's kind of just rolling through and getting bounced around. Pops the shield right as he goes out, and now the Gremlins have to wait. They need that sixth person to be part of the team fight, or else, I mean, of course they're gonna lose. It's a 6v5.
I think the play here is to play for your grab. Maybe try to bait out Immortality here. Getting quite patient with it, and the pulse bomb able to do a lot of damage, but nice beat there from Hefe.
Yeah, big beat from Hefe keeps everyone alive, and now Yeetmeister can just press the W button. Big kills and big plays from the support line of the Otters. Allow them to stay alive through the onslaught of the Gremlins.
You know, you just hold on to that immortality until you think your teammates are gonna die. Kaden just holding on to it and then using it at an opportune time. And the pulse bomb goes down, does a ton of damage, but Hefe with the beat.
Booney rolling in once again, pops that minefield, and creates a decent amount of space. Boom now has a way in, he can walk in through those mines. But High Noon from Magna just zones them out completely and finds Train C. Booney go.
I'm thinking this is what the Gremlins want, but they're not really winning convincingly here. They create chaos, but not much is happening.
Oh, solo shatter onto Boom. That's not a great feeling if you're on that Zarya there. Pinned as well by Yeetmeister, just doing so much on the front line is the Reinhardt. Makes that nano boost from Gemino Curse get absolutely no value. And the Gremlins have to reset once again, back to the drawing board.
Now, I once again am wondering, just, you know, you had the perfect situation there, in my opinion, for the Gremlins. You had your ball create a lot of chaos with the mines. You know, your DPS had space to flank, but just no plays happening there, and they're just able to kind of, you know, ball up as a rush comp and just clean house.
Yeah. Booney has matched the Reinhardt here, and they do have a couple ults. Boom probably looking to find another massive grab like he did in that second fight there. But instead, it's the side of the Otters, too, from Caden's window. Big Dog dropping as well. They do the Gremlins do manage to find the res onto Gemino Curse, but Yeetmeister's found his way in. He's pinned in, he's swinging the hammer, found a Fire Strike as well. Asquatch is pinning it to spawn on the copy Reinhardt, and they'll have to back out maybe a little sheepishly. That was kind of a feed play, but
there's not much scarier than two Reinhardts barreling down. Oh my, Trey with a big kill onto Wags. That's a very big pick. I mean, they have grab pulse as well. This could look pretty ugly for the Otters.
Yeah, Big Dog does copy the D.Va as well. But it's a massive shatter from Yeetmeister, and huge bomb follow-up as well from Nortlogic. Great synergy from the Brawl tank line of the Otters, as Yeet is just hard MTDing Booney right now. It's not even close.
And nice bomb there from Nord as well. Probably distracting Booney a little bit, not expecting that shatter to come down. And, you know, that shatter, it also denied grab. I mean, Boom went down and died instantly to bomb. So, very nice play from the tank line on the side of the Otters. You know, even when you're down, Wags able to kind of corral the team together and make big plays.
Initiating match.
Just, it must be really demoralizing for the side of the Gremlins. I mean, they got a really clean map win on Nubani, and now they're just getting absolutely crushed once again, like map 1.
I mean, you gotta be wondering if that ball play was, like, gonna do anything at all. I mean, they didn't really get past the first choke there. And
you didn't have to do it like that.
I mean, listen, man, I love Booney, great player, but you gotta think, like, if they had a better tank line for their team, you know, could they push it past first point and make this map much more winnable than it is?
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Booney has swapped onto the Reinhardt here. It hasn't looked great for him, honestly, against Yeetmeister, but maybe he can make it work. Now that his team is fully committed to the Brawl behind him, they got that Hanzo Kree and the Bap Lucio.
Yeah, nor on the D.Va. I really like the D.Va as opposed to Zarya, you know, especially against the McCree Hanzo. Just that spam gonna be eaten up. The one Zarya bubble not as potent as just full DM.
But they do have the defensive positioning. They got the snipers on the high ground. Maybe they can make something work. But Wags is on the Echo. He's trying to flank the high ground here. Flames popped by both sides. Nords does take out Gemino Curses first, though. So, bit of a sustained advantage on the side of the Otters. As now they're just pushing in extremely aggressively. Booty falls, and it's looking a bit desperate.
Just his shield just gets popped much quicker, and it's not looking good for the Gremlins. I mean, they're just gonna have to go. You know, screw your Reinhardt. Oh no, no, no!
No! Dude, they were popping off too! Wag's got one, or... Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they
Not
got the
Wags.
picks there.
They got two.
Traincy got a pick as well. I mean, you know, letter number, but like, it was winnable.
It was definitely winnable. They just needed to touch. Really unfortunate.
I mean, that's just really demoralizing. I mean, you already had a kind of poor attack there, and then, you know, just as it's looking dire, you get those picks that allow for a recontest, and you don't even get that recontest.
But it is their map pick, and from what we've seen, they've been pretty dominant when Reinhardt hasn't been available. So,
right. And I believe it's 2CP or Veto, and I mean, 2CP pretty mostly friendly to Winston's. You know, maybe not Anubis, but I've seen some good Winston play on a lot of 2CP maps, so they don't seem very opposed to it as well. So I just really think that the Reinhardt play is just so good from Yeetmeister right now that they don't really want to allow for a Reinhardt on potentially like Hollywood, Kings Row, you know, any of those hybrid maps.
yeah. Yeah. Looks like we are going to Volskaya. I'm pretty sure, yeah. The veto doesn't matter if you pick a 2CP map.
Right, yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Volskaya, I like having a monkey here, just having, you know, an Ana posted on high ground. Your monkey kind of sits around, like on Sniper's Island, and your DPS are able to kind of put down on the point as well.
Yeah.
On the attack, I mean, Winston's pretty good as well. I mean, you can match the Reinhardt if your team's facing the Reinhardt, but I mean, I just like controlling high ground on this map because I think it's pretty underrated. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you look at Volskaya second, right? If you're a Reinhardt, you have no way of contesting the high ground. You're just like stuck on the low ground. You have to hope that the snipers or whatever that are pounding you from the high ground just drop off and contest the objective so you can kill them. Otherwise, like, you're just gonna lose if the defenders can give ticks, they'll just give you 2 ticks and they'll shoot you and you'll die, you know?
yeah, I mean, I like this pick from the Gremlins. You know, 2CP, not the favorite among many players, but if you want to win, you got to play to your strengths.
For sure, for sure. Trying to put their snipers in position to pop off and even like play those echo picks and stuff like that.
And I'm still expecting some sort of Reinhardt composition from the Otters. I mean, it's been working so well for them. It's pretty insane how well they're doing.
Ooh. We got the Overwatch League hero pool meta coming out.
Oh, yeah, the Overwatch League comp. You know, me personally, I'm not a big fan of this comp, but you know, it's just personal preferences. I specifically don't really know how effective an echo is in this comp, but you know, Overwatch League pros use it, you know, so I'm probably wrong, you know.
Well, there's also a hero pool, so
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
mean,
like, in my opinion, I'd put a Tracer there instead of Echo, but like in Overwatch League, a Tracer's banned.
we'll see how effective it is right now, as they're probably attempting to either go high ground or just you know, kind of circle around with a large rotate.
Yeah, the Otters do just have classic brawl here, so right now the Rhine is kind of just getting outmaneuvered. Yeetmeister's sitting alone on the point. Now Engage comes through from Booney. Yeah, Kaden caught, flank forced, and they found the BAP as well, so Wag's gone too. This should be it for the fight. Booney's jumping in once again to just clean up.
I'm not really a fan of how the Otters played that year. Reinhardt's just not in the fight at all, and you're just allowed them to set up. And against tanks like Winston, it's kind of hard to win against them when you allow them to play how they want, like getting high ground.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, like, if you let the Winston run around, you'll never be able to, like, you have to find a chance to pin him down, right? If you're a Reinhardt, you just don't move as fast as Winston. He got a jetpack, you got a hammer.
Yep. And now the Gremlins looking to engage with a dive of some kind. And I don't know what Magnus doing down there. It's not a good position for McCree, and he just gets blown up.
Yeah, massive engage from Booney, sets up for 2 kills from the Brawl DPS. Big shatter from Yeetmeister, but he just dies as Gemino Curse has got the sustain and the damage from the coal sprayed straight onto him and the people he shattered.
Yeah, I just want to mention how close Gemino Curse and the rest of his team was to dying there. Everybody was less than half HP, and he barely gets Coalescence to keep his team alive. I mean, that's just insane timing for him. But you know, great Cole able to keep his team alive. Booney getting shattered, but able to sustain his team. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Unbelievable plays, and kind of a crazy steamroll coming out from the side of the Gremlins. They found some nice weaknesses, you know, like they did see the mistakes that were being served to them, but also it did feel like the Otters are definitely uncomfortable playing the brawl comp into a non-mirror brawl comp, right?
Yeah, in my opinion, if you're a Reinhardt against the Winston, you can't let yourself get outmaneuvered like that. You know, it's difficult to catch the Winston, but you know, if the opportunity presents itself, I think you just gotta go just mano a mano, just run him down. Especially when he's inside this tiny room on the left here where they were. I think you just gotta go after him.
Yeah, I mean the other thing too is, okay, sure, the Winston can jump around all parts of the map, right, or whatever. He's got speed boost too, so he's super fast and mobile. But at the same time, at some point the Winston's got to get to the point. So as long as you position your brawl team and your Reinhardt near the objective in a safe position, like sure the Winston jumps all around the place, but like you make some minor adaptations in your positioning, but you still force them to come to you.
Yeah. And we're seeing the Reinhardt again from the Otters, and you know, Overwatch League comp out from the Gremlins, and they're just gonna look to get on point here probably.
Yeah. No Lucio though to help in the rotation, and now Booney immediately takes advantage. Hefe Kaden drop so quickly, such a nice engage, and Booney might die, but that's just gonna be a clean wipe.
Yeah, perhaps they saw the soldier and Echo there, and they said, you know what? Our brawl's way better. Let's just run into them. They can't do anything. And I mean, they just did that. They rolled them over with a superior brawl comp, even though they have that Reinhardt there.
Yeah. No Lucio as well. So like, the Reinhardt can't like get onto the high ground to contest that Winston. It's literally impossible. Yeah. But also like he doesn't have the speed to run anywhere else. He's just gonna get farmed every time he tries to walk through a choke.
Once again, they're just sitting ducks.
Yeah, Booney dropping in, trying to find just massive cleave. He's almost got a primal rage, and Gemino Curse pops the coalescence. So much sustain for the side of the Gremlins. They can go as ham as they want. Booney jumping in again. He's got the primal rage in case he needs it. Pops it onto the Nort Logic. Now pummeling Hefe into a wall. The sleep is connected, but now it's just Hefe trying to sneak his way back into spawn.
Yeah, just good team play on the side of the Gremlins. Cole pop from Gemino, able to keep the team alive, and I mean only a primal from Booney. And the ult economy is still looking somewhat even. I mean, the Otters are coming up on 6 ults, but with a beat, I think it's very winnable for hit the Gremlins here.
Yeah. Booney as well, with how much cleave he's been getting, he can build a Primal Rage extremely quickly here. Booney dropping in, and Reaper ult used as well by Starlight. Hefe gone immediately, and now he's just Wraith forming, walking at Kaden on the Mercy. The Glock is out, the Reaper's taking the duel. Yeetmeister on the other side does manage to take out Gemino Curse. He's now brawling with a copy Reinhardt. Such a scrappy fight, and Magnus found his way solo onto the high ground behind, but he's just solo shattered by Big Dog on the copy Reinhardt.
I think that was just an unfortunate just miscue by Wags. You know, he probably thought he was copying Diva or Winston there and accidentally copied Lucio. He still picked up the frag on the Traincy, who beated but didn't get the beat off. But I mean, slightly poor usage of ultimates. And Yeetmeister does have Shatter, but I mean, what is he gonna shatter? Everybody's on high ground.
Yeah. Big damage though, put onto Booney, so he has to drop everybody, and it's massive. A crazy shatter from Yeet. I mean, making you eat your words. Just force them off high ground, Forehead. Put them on the ground so you can shatter. But somehow they can't pick up any kills, and instead it's Gemino's Curse's Coalescence on the other side, setting up Boom 1011 for another huge diva play.
Yeah, there's not much that's more frustrating than landing a big shatter and getting not enough follow-up to kill anything at all. And especially, you're not going to get an opportunity to shatter a comp like this too often, especially shatter as big as that. And that was their opportunity to take point, but now it's looking pretty dire here for the Otters.
Yeah, Otters with a copy nano boost on the table. Wags diving in super aggressively, finds a copy onto the diva. Definitely what he's looking for in this situation is now he's just trying to chase down any targets, build up that bomb. Magna though, as well, does manage to find a
Oh my
no.
no. You know, they were just so bogged down with cleaning up kills that
Play of the game.
they forget that they need a touch point at all. You know, it's really unfortunate too, because I think they were gonna win that fight. They had ultimates. They had the numbers, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Yeah, Magna got a pick. I think both teams lost Diva Mech, and then Magna got pick onto Big Dog, and they had a copy Diva.
I mean, that's just crazy. I think, you know, credit goes to Starlight. You know, in the backline as Reaper, very scary, especially when you're on supports. Pretty sure he had ultimate as well. So, even if it did look pretty losable there for the Gremlins, you know, we never know. Maybe they do bring it back when the Otters did touch point. But, you know, they never even touched point in the first place. So, we'll never know.
Yeah. And what a horrible note. Like, what a horrible note to go into a game 5 in, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just get hard first held, and you see 9 in the one fight that feels winnable.
I think we're noticing a bit of a pattern here. The team who picks the map appears to be winning that map in convincing fashion.
Yeah.
So let's see if the pattern holds. I mean, what is it? Control, I believe.
Yeah, Control's the last map type.
And you know, we saw what happened on Busan, but maybe you know, the Gremlins, you know, figure something out. They can make some changes to team compositions and win it out. Or maybe the Otters just stomp on Control once again.
I do feel like this narrative that you pointed out of like the Winston comps versus the Ryan comps, and like if either team can force whatever comp they're comfortable on, that's where they really thrive. And I feel like a lot of these control maps, except for maybe Lijiang, you can generally, like, there's at least one round that's really good for dive, and at least one round that's good for brawl. But then there's one that's kind of sitting in the middle, and you can play either comp and play to your strengths. So it won't be so free for the Otters, because it doesn't feel like they can. I mean, unless maybe if they pick Lijiang, they can like hard force a brawl map.
Yeah, I mean Lijiang, Oasis. When I think of those these two maps, you have that one map that's pretty brawl centric, you know, your control centers, your universities of the world.
Yeah.
And then, you know, maybe a map like Garden is not very friendly to you if you're the Otters, and you're cheering if you're the Gremlins.
For sure, for sure.
You know, looks like they're mulling this over as well, the Otters, as they try to find a map that's best suited for them while denying the Gremlins of a good opportunity to take the series.
Yeah, I will also say, if Sky is any indicator, we did see the Otters try and play Brawl and Volskaya into the Gremlins dive and just utterly crumble. So it could be that all the Gremlins need to do is just play dive. Even if the map isn't amazing for it or whatever, just like play dive and force that, just force a not mirror matchup, right?
Yeah. Maybe the Moira Lucio is just the solution for them. I mean, they just look so dominant on Skya, and it may just match the playstyle they're looking for, especially with the Otters.
Yeah. The Reaper guy as well, just so strong. Has a special move and everything.
Yep. Got 2 revolvers as well.
Yeah.
Can kill like anybody with 3 to 4 shots, something like that.
Something like that.
Especially when you come from the side. I heard it's very powerful.
Wow. And looking at the bets in chat, oh well, no, it just flipped. It was at 96% in favor of the Gremlins, but someone chucked a bunch in for the Otters.
Perhaps they're on that belief that, you know, map pickers win.
Maybe. It is, you know, yeah, there's definitely some hope left for both teams here. And I think it'll definitely be a really exciting last map here to our series. Oh, Zhang. They've given me a map.
Give us a map, yes. Bijang, I mean, just like you said, this map, it's got that one good brawl map, the control center. It's got Garden, which is less Reinhardt friendly. And then you have the other one, which I can't remember its name, which is, I would say it's more... Night Market, which is, I mean, I would say if you can get that Sim TP in and just control point, I mean, it can be pretty Reinhardt favored.
Yeah. I will also say if you're not gonna run a Ryan on this map, balls, you could play a ball. And we did see Booney on ball earlier in the series. I don't know how you feel about that. But it looks like both teams are just rolling out on the brawl here. I think we have perfectly mirrored compositions, both teams with the Doom Sim, except Boom is on Azaria and Nord is on the Diva here, so a bit more support for Starlight on the Doomfist. He'll have the bubble, whereas Nord will be a little bit better at peeling and eating some of that Sim spam, as well as setting up some nice off angles for his team. Big engage though from Escort's big dies immediately. Lamp used as well by Gemino Curse drops, but Starlight does manage to trade out the Doomfist. Yeetmeister though is just uncontested. He's Chad-like on this Reinhardt, but Starlight as well is still finding 4 people? 5? No way! Yo, the captain coming up huge, and now it's Boom. He's got some reinforcements from the Sim TP. Both teams is having TP, in fact. Squatch falls, but Booney's back on the objective. First cap is in favor of the Gremlins here, but they need to break that TP.
Yeah, it's really funny that you say it was nearly a mirror comp, except for the Zarya and Diva, because they were quite literally the only ones alive on point at one point. And, you know, Wags got that early pick, but Starlight just absolutely popped off on the Doomfist and basically saved the point. And with them having points, it's just so difficult to push in with the Sim towards just helping your Reinhardt.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna punch them away in though, it's definitely Squatch on that Doomfist. Magna manages to find a punish onto Big Dog, and a massive bomb from Nortlogic, but again, it's Starlight on the Doomfist. He found 3 counter frags. Booney as well, picking up 1, but it's just Starlight. He's romping through the backline, solo shatter onto Nort. It's just making him feel bad. Yeet is like staggering in almost. He does manage to find Booney, and Wags kills him, right? How long is this fight gonna be?
I mean, it's rare you see such a staggered fight like we saw on, I guess, the first fight, and it's happening once again. This is still just one prolonged second fight, and it might finally be over, but they're just gonna put bodies on point until they can't anymore.
Yeah, all the point control did go to the side of the Otters late into that fight. They had the Reinhardt, they had the shield to just force all the Gremlins out, and with the Yeets a shatter to seal the deal.
Yeah, despite what just transpired, you know, we still have ultimates on both sides, somehow. We still have ultimates that can be expended here. And with the wall, it could be pretty devastating for the Otters, you know, maybe cut off beat sight lines, make it difficult, rotates, but the wall isn't on point, so...
Ooh, big grab coming up from Boom. Starlight doing a ton of damage into it as well, and now he's gone up into the sky, slamming back down onto Kaden. It's Captain v Captain in the backline, and Starlight comes out on top. Huge shatter from Booney. Throws, I think, 3 on their backs. Nort does manage to take out Train C, but it's too little too late as Starlight is still coming up huge on the Doomfist. Does suicide at the end though.
A little bit unlucky, but you know, pretty solid fight there. I don't think the Simwall was as good as it could have been, but the grab forces out beat, and they can't really use the beat other than to just stay alive from the grab. And now it's coming in the last fight.
Yeah, Wags on the Doomfist going in for an engage similar to Starlight in the last fight. He's gone up into the sky, but only takes out the lamp here when he comes back down. Hefe though does manage to find a frag onto Booney. Starlight here could come up clutch once again like he has in the previous fights. He's gone onto the backline, but he's booped out of the way. Nord eats Boom's Graviton Surge, and that should be it here. A last second retake, and it's very nerve-wracking, but I think the Otters could cap here and hold.
Please don't.
Booney almost did it.
Yeah, this fight, you know, they're still stalling it out. Not really sure if you really have to anymore, though. Yeah, quite unfortunate that Boom gets his grab eaten. Potentially, you could have saved that, because, I mean, you still have round 2 fights left, I would say. And your team could really use a potential game-winning ult like that. Booney does have Shatter, but Hefe has beat to potentially counteract any person who goes down. So it's gonna be a pretty scrappy fight here.
Yeah. Nord is taken to the high ground, fighting off angle, but big symbol from Big Dog as well, just setting up for a nice walk in here. Shatter committed by Booney, but doesn't find anything. He does boop, does he? No, he does not. Yeetmeister on the other side though, with the help of that sound barrier, does manage to find 2. Magna 2 late kills as well, the high noon, and there's so little time left on the clock that I don't know if the Gremlins can get a nice engage here at this last fight.
They do just straight up kill Boom, not staggering him, so that potentially gives them time to come back. But with no ultimates, it's gonna be pretty rough.
Yeah, Traincy's just gotta find a touch of some kind. Does manage to make it, but you lose their life for it. Lamp committed as well, and no one's inside of it as Wags can just roll kids. He's landed down on top of Gemino Curse. So much blue on the left side of the kill feed, and round 1 will go to the Otters at the last moment.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I mean, it just looked solidly in favor of the Gremlins there. They had point, they had ultimates, they were looking very solid, but Otters able to come back. Wags, Nort, Yeetmeister just acting as that brawling front line, able to pound any wood point intruders, and yeah, we're coming on the match point here.
Potential match point, and once again, Oh, not once again, because now it's completely mirrored compositions from both sides. Boom is no longer on the Zarya, on the Diva. He has looked amazing on it in the series so far, but it is Ryan v Ryan, which has kind of been the Otters' town.
Yeah, we've some TPs coming out. Divas to eat the junk mines that are just gonna be bombarding the enemy Reinhardts.
Booney's going so aggressive. Wags has managed to find a kill onto Train C, so a lot less speed, a lot less sustain. Pin as well onto Booney. Starlight does manage to take out Kaden. That's massive. BAP is so important in these compositions. It could be winnable just off of that as Starlight finds Magna as well. Yeet, though, swinging in onto the Big Dog. Doesn't manage to find the kill and instead dies for it. Now Big Dog has built the beam. And now see, it's just Nord on point! They managed to kill it once again, and it's a massive DPS play from the Gremlins that keeps them in it again once on the second round.
Yeah, both teams showing that they just want it. They want to win. It's just so scrappy on both sides, just trading kills left and right. It's just so hard to tell who's gonna win fights. I mean, I thought for sure that the Gremlins were gonna lose with Train C going down so early, but I mean they have Tire now. It's looking bad for the Otters instead.
Yeah, Starlight pops a tire, but he gets no. Big Dog finds Asquatch on the other side. Booney as well, just wading into the backline. He's got the shield now. He knows he's won the fight. He's just trying to make sure that no one on his team dies. No staggers, no opportunities for the Otters to bring it back like they did last round.
Kaden perhaps popping Immortality a bit too early off of Tire. I mean, it's a pretty decent play. You want to keep your team alive, but the Immortality is out in the open, and now we have a big fight going on with a ton of ults. Oh,
Huge flank Tire from Asquatch. Jumps around coast side to set up for a nice flanking gauge. He finds two. Yeetmeister is just cleaning up all the kills, and the Otters have found their way back in to the point they have the control and they have the chokes.
That fight went on so quickly. Both sim walls popped and both shatters, or at least one shatter was popped. And the Tire from Wag's just so massive. Basically winning the fight single-handedly.
Yeah. Kaden has this window on the approach, but Booney just walks in. Starlight finds another massive kill to Magna. Booney deep into the backlines. He's a secret agent with a giant shield. They know he's there. They're shooting at him, but they don't manage to find the pick. Boom's trapped up by Asquatch's trap, but he has the bomb to remech, and numbers are still in favor of the Gremlins here. Huge shatter from Booney is the nail in the coffin, and now it's all the onus is on the side of the Otters. They have to win the next fight.
Yeah, a bit of a funny play where Booney accidentally pins Nord's Diva Bomb, and it actually favored his team because the Diva Bomb didn't make any space, and Booney was able to stay alive after the pin. So, just a very interesting play as we have both tires popped.
Dueling tires, but Starlight kills both Wags' tire and Wags with his own. Huge play coming up from the captain of the Gremlins in the hour that they need him. Yeemeister now just has to walk his way onto point. He only has 5 seconds left, but he's just getting pounded by Boom. Hefe going for a desperate rollout, but it's not gonna come up with anything.
Just very solid play from the Gremlins. Especially, I'm very impressed with how Starlight played there. I mean, the Tire was big for first point when he basically killed the Diva Mech and forced Immortality, and then the Tire that kills Wags and his own Tire. Very impactful.
Yeah. Starlight has been coming up so massive on all these points of Lijiang Tower. He had that 5k in the first fight of first round, and he brought them back. He brought his team back into the first fight of second round of Lijiang.
And now we're on Garden, which we previously discussed was very favored for the Gremlins because they just favor the Winston comps, and Garden just allows for nice open play. And we still see the Rhine coming out from the side of the Otters, but with no Lucio once again, which is just gonna make Yeetmeister a sitting duck.
Yeah, I think all the pressure here is on Asquatch to carry. He has to make it work with the Echo Pocket, but instead it's Yeetmeister just punished. He doesn't have speed, he doesn't have a lot of resources, and he's taken out by Big Dog's sticky mines.
And now they're just gonna have to give up point. They're just kind of stuck out here on bridge with no shield to escort them out into the open. And this is just gonna be 3% for the Gremlins.
Yeah. Booney does use all his engage cooldowns, but the Otters don't really want to punish that. They don't feel confident. They're just gonna back off, play rock, rotate around to White Room.
And once again, they're just so static, while the Gremlins are a much more dynamic comp with both speed and mobile tanks.
Wags here. Wags has gotten into the backline. He's got a copy Reaper. He's forced to wait, but he doesn't know. He doesn't see the Gem's trophy. No way! Chorus is popped by Gemino Curse, but Wags' spin is still massive. He takes the nano boost from Hefe, finds to a third as well onto Big Dog. Cap though is still in favor of the Gremlins as Booney is just going crazy, going monkey on the point, but it's not enough.
I still think they can recontest fast. So it's gonna be 3v3, but Traincy accidentally dies, and now they're just gonna have to back up, wait for everybody to come back. I mean, your ult economy is still decent.
Yeah. At least Traincy didn't like invest a beat there and jump off the map.
Indeed. You know, and you know, it's still keep in mind it's still the Winston reason to rewrite here. You know, static be dynamic.
Oh, massive bomb from Nort. Both Magna and Nort see that the Diva has slept, so they bomb him to take him out of mech, as well as the High Noon just doesn't have any counter. Percents are now equal, and well, the Gremlins at least still have some ults.
Yeah, very nice combo there. You know, you don't often see a Diva Bomb and McCree ult together, but the Diva Bomb forces everybody out into the open, and the Kree ult is just there to kill everybody who's still alive.
Yeah. Gremlins rotating through Right Room this time. They do have both support ults. I think they're coming up on 5 here, so definitely really favored in this fight if they can make it work. Huge man anti forces the beat out immediately. Traincy is stunned, but the beat as well takes care of both the anti and the shatter there. Big plays from the Gremlins, just taking the point back immediately. They did invest a lot of ults though, I think 5.
A lot of ults were invested, like you said, but you know the Otters use all of their ultimates. The only thing they're really close to is High Noon, and without a speed, you know you have your shield and DM, but you know everybody on the Gremlins are just so mobile and able to dodge High Noon that you're probably not going to get any value out of it anyway.
Yeah, Wags here doesn't have the copy to make a flank play like he did last time, and now it's go time for Booney. He has the Primal Rage. He's just pushing into White Room, but no one's with him. Late TP from Starlight means that Booney is just taken out by the High Noon from Magna. Easy peasy. He does manage to find a late kill onto Kaden though, so both teams are even here, but the Mercy is gone on the side of the Otters.
Yeah, I don't agree with playing aggressive there. I think you should just kind of play on point, wait for your Winston to come back because he's so fast. But it doesn't really matter anyway because they're just cleaning house. It's a very scrappy fight.
Bomb invested by Nort Logic, but Big Dog and Boom 1011 are coming up huge. They can just brawl on this point. Like, the blue team has to walk through a tiny choke, and then they're standing right next to the Reaper character. He has 2 revolvers. He's starved. He's popping off for his team. He has 96% to Death Blossom. He knows he can just clean up this last fight here. Yeetmeister's desperately spinning on the objective, but Booney's pushed all of his heals and support away. Now Nord is here. The ball hasn't died yet, but
and with the Cole being invested, I mean they got too many ultimates for anything to matter at this point. Let's be real.
yeah, Wags needs to go crazy like he did last time, but instead he's forced off point and has the C9.
Very nice play by the Gremlins there. I think they found the comp that really works well for them. Winston Diva, Reaper Echo, Moira Lucio. It's so very effective. And they just had good ult rotations. You know, I said the High Noon wouldn't have mattered, but like Booney kind of absolutely died. But Starlight on the Reaper character coming from the side and assassinating Kaden was I would say it was a very big play.
Yeah. I mean, if he doesn't get that pick there and sneak out with his life, it's just the go button for the Otters. They probably cap off of that because there's no main tank. They can just push in.
And you know, as for MVP, I mean, I think the man on the Reaper character on the winning team was very effective. throughout the match.
For sure. I mean, he came up crazy at that last map.
hmm And on the maps they were like dominating on, I mean, Tracer on Numbani, very, very nice. I think he played
Yeah.
very well.
Yeah, I told Booney. Welcome.
Hello, Mr. MVP of the match.
Hi, hi, hi.
Hi, hi.
Mm. So you had a very good match day,
Okay.
especially on the Reaper character and the Tracer character.
What about the
Which,
Doomfist?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Doom
yeah,
was
the
crazy.
The Doom was very crazy. But you guys on the maps you weren't winning were kind of getting stomped on Brawl. But I mean, what do you think about your Brawl on Lijiang? What changed for it to be
Well,
so?
you see, the first map, we didn't do our signature 3-2-1 fighting, you know? And
Ah,
then Rialto, it was pretty poor. Like, we said 3-2-1 fighting, like, I think only me and, like, one other person said it. So, other maps, though, we did it correctly. And we won
I
those.
see.
So, yeah.
and yeah, go ahead.
The last map was definitely a roller coaster of emotions. Probably, I
Yeah.
mean, for us casting the match, but definitely, I'm sure for you in the server, how did it feel to like go crazy on round one and still lose it in the last moments, 99-99?
Oh, it was just fun.
Okay.
We,
Oh.
adapt afterwards is like, yeah, still a lot of Overwatch left. So then we just kept going.
So
You
I'm
know.
assuming you never once believed your team was gonna lose, because I mean, right now it seems you're pretty confident. Even though the match
we
was
had
close,
it. We had it.
you knew you had it.
Gave him a false sense of hope. You know.
Yep, I respect that.
A bit of cruelty, maybe.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask this because I normally ask this when I cast, but who would you give MVP to on your team besides yourself? And who do you think on the other team played very well that you would like
Other
to
team.
shout out? Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say Big Dog on our team. He's our moral support right there. The big dog.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
He just carries our mental. And then on our team, it's got to be Wags. Wags just does stuff.
Yeah, he did pop off. Yeah, but I believe you popped off harder and were able to help your team
Yeah.
win a little bit more, as evidenced by your 3-2 victory. And I congratulate you. You are
you.
now 2-0 on the season, and yeah, good captaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big plays, big plays. Well, that'll be it for us tonight. Signing
Okay,
off
Evan.
for meme here. I've been Oaks. I stole that one from Booney. I didn't steal it right, but I stole it from Booney. And yeah, I think there's a match tomorrow. Let me check the time.
Match tomorrow, and like to thank our production
8 p.m.
guy, Mr. Rexacta. He's doing God's work because nobody else will do it. So
yeah,
yeah, we'll see you next time.
yeah. It's Tuesday at 8 p.m. We have the Wakanda BBQs versus the Rialto Rincewinds. So I think it's have the Rincewinds played?
Yeah. They
They lost to
lost.
Lumberjacks in a
Okay, yeah.
slugfest.
And the BBQs are pretty dominant against the Tacos, so definitely be an interesting match just as the first matches come through and the standings kind of settle into place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll see you then.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.